Hello everybody, and today I am going to tell you about discontinuity of a function f of xy and some theorems on continuity. Okay, and first of all I am going to tell you what is the meaning of continuity. Already I have told you, again I am repeating. A function f of xy is said to be continuous at ab if f of xy minus f of ab. What is f of ab? It is the functional value. It is the functional value of f of xy at ab. Clear? So f of xy minus f of ab modulus must be less than epsilon. Clear? Under which condition? When x minus mod is less or equal to delta and y minus b mod is less or equal to delta. And here what is the domain here? Here the domain is the square domain. That means here AB is this point and this one x minus mod is less equal to delta is greater equal to minus delta. That means x is less equal to a plus delta and it is greater equal to a minus delta. So this square, see here, this is the center AB and this difference is delta, this one is delta. So this point will be a plus delta and this point will be a minus delta and this one is b minus delta and this point is b plus delta. So a, the value of x varies from a minus delta to a plus delta and the value of y in the second case it varies from b minus delta to b plus delta. That means it is a square whose sides is 2 delta. So I have written here. Here the neighborhood of AB is a square whose center is AB and whose sides are parallel to the coordinate axis. Here the sides are parallel to x axis and these two sides are parallel to y axis and having length 2 delta. And if a function is not continuous, then it is said to be discontinuous. If a function is not continuous, then it is said to be discontinuous. And discontinuity are of three types: discontinuity of the first kind, discontinuity of the second kind, and removal discontinuity. Clear? So let us see the definition of these three. Okay. See here. What is the meaning of discontinuity of the first kind, second kind, and the removal discontinuity? Here, if this limit xy tends to ab, f of xy does not exist, then the function f of xy is said to have discontinuity of the first kind. Clear? A function f of xy is said to have a discontinuity of the first kind if the double limit, that means limit xy tends to ab, f of xy does not exist. Clear? And for the second kind, either the functional value is undefined, that means f of ab is not defined, or the limiting value is unequal to functional value. See here, limit xy tends to ab, f of xy is unequal to f of ab, or f of ab is not defined. Then you can say it is the discontinuity of the second kind. Clear? And removal discontinuity means it is continuous everywhere in the neighborhood of AB except at AB. At AB it is not continuous, but in the neighborhood of AB it is continuous everywhere. And practically the meaning of removal discontinuity means you can remove the discontinuity. That means you can make it continuity by redefining the functional value. For example, the limiting value is 2 and the functional value is 5. If you redefine the functional value as 2, then the limiting value must be equal to functional value. So it becomes continuous. Clear? So this is all about the definitions of discontinuities. See, this is the first theorem on continuity. If a function f of x is continuous at ab, if a function f of xy is continuous at ab and f of ab is unequal to 0, clear? The functional value is unequal to 0, then there exists a neighborhood, NBD is neighborhood, and this is the symbol for there exists of ab such that for every point of this neighborhood, f of xy has the same sign as f of ab. That means the sign of f of xy is same as that of f of ab. That means if f of ab is unequal to 0 means either it may be positive, it may be negative. If it is positive, then f of xy is also positive. If it is negative, then f of xy is also negative. Clear? So let us prove that. First of all, it is given that f of xy is continuous at AB. See here, I am doing the proof. Given f of xy is continuous at AB. Clear? So, for given epsilon greater than 0, there exists delta greater than 0. I am writing the definition depending upon epsilon such that f of xy minus f of ab modulus is less than epsilon for 0 is less than x minus a is less equal to delta and 0 is less than y minus b mod is less equal to delta. That is, this is definition of continuity. Clear? See here, I am expanding this one. Already it is known to you, mod x is less equal to a, implied and implied by x is less equal to a and greater equal to minus a. Mod x is less equal to a means x is less equal to a and greater equal to minus a. So, same thing I am applying here. See here, it is f of xy minus f of ab is less than epsilon and greater than minus epsilon. Clear? Then add f of ab to each side. It will become f of ab minus epsilon is less than f of xy and it is less than f of ab plus epsilon. Clear? Under which condition? For 0 is less than x minus a mod is less equal to delta and 0 is less than y minus b mod is less equal to delta. And from this equation, we have to prove that f of xy, the sign of f of xy is same as that of the sign of f of ab. So how to prove this one? So f of ab, it may be positive or it may be negative because f of ab is only equal to 0. So there will be two cases. So for first case, we have to prove, we have to show when f of ab is positive, and in the second case, we have to show for the function f of ab negative, negative of f of a and positive of f of a. See here, I have written here that last line I have written here. F of ab minus epsilon is less than f of xy is less than f of ab plus epsilon, and these are the given conditions. And in the first case, f of ab is greater than 0. That means f of ab is positive. Okay. So let us choose. What is the trick I am going to tell you? Let us choose epsilon such that epsilon is less than f of ab. Always take this quantity as positive, and you should choose epsilon which is less than that positive quantity, so that f of ab, and already it is known to you that epsilon is greater than 0. For given epsilon greater than 0, epsilon is positive. Clear? So f of ab, take epsilon to that side. So minus epsilon is greater than 0. Clear? And now the point is that what is f of ab? It is positive. What is epsilon? It is also positive. So f of epsilon plus f of ab plus epsilon, it is also positive. Now f of ab plus epsilon, it is positive, this is positive, so the sum is also greater than 0. So this quantity is positive and this quantity is positive. That means this one is positive, this one is positive. So f of xy is a function between two positive numbers, so automatically f of xy should be positive. Therefore this is 1. So from equation 1, it is clear that f of xy is greater than 0. Clear? I have taken f of ab is positive, so I have proved f of xy is greater than 0. And let us go to the second case. Okay. Now for the second case, let f of ab is less than 0. So if we multiply minus 1 to both the sides, the sign will change. Clear? So minus f of ab is greater than 0. I have told you how to choose epsilon. Now minus f of ab is positive quantity. So this total quantity is positive. Don't say it is negative. F of ab is negative. So if you multiply minus it will become positive. That means minus 2 is negative. 2 itself is positive. Clear? Similarly. Here f of ab, or see here, minus or minus 2 if I take like this. Seeing this negative sign, you cannot say that the whole quantity is positive or negative. You should see this quantity. What is this quantity? Whether it is positive or negative. It is negative, so minus 1 will become positive, so whole quantity will become positive. Clear? So you should keep it in your mind. Here f of ab is negative, so minus f of ab is positive. Now let us choose. Same system is same. Let us choose epsilon so that epsilon is less than minus of f of ab. I have told you should choose epsilon which is less than the positive quantity, and here positive quantity is minus of f of ab, so you should choose epsilon which is less than that positive quantity. Clear? So it implies take minus ab to left hand side. That means epsilon plus f of ab is less than 0. That means this quantity is negative. Clear? Now, very interesting thing I am going to tell you. F of ab plus minus epsilon. What will be the value? This quantity is negative. And minus epsilon is positive, so minus epsilon is negative. So negative plus negative, it is also negative. So that means f of ab minus epsilon is less than 0. So this quantity is negative, this quantity is negative. That means f of ab minus epsilon, f of ab minus epsilon is negative. So this side is also negative. So f of xy lies between two negative numbers. That means f of xy must be negative. So from 1 we have f of xy is less than 0. Hence, finally you can write that the function f of xy has the same sign as f of ab. Clear? In the last sentence, write f of xy has the same sign as that of f of ab. Hence the theorem. Clear? So let us come to the second theorem. Here, the necessary condition for a function f of xy to be continuous at ab, which is a limiting point of its domain. ab is the limiting point of its domain. That means ab lies within the domain. Inside the domain is that f of xp, not ab, f of xp is a continuous function of one variable x. There is no y here, b is a constant. So f of xy is a function of one variable x, and it is continuous at x equal a, you want to prove it. And similarly f of ay, it is a function of y, and it is continuous at x is equal to, at y is equal to b. Clear? So first of all, it is given that it is continuous. The function f of xy is continuous. Given f of xy is continuous at ab. So for given epsilon greater than 0, there exists delta greater than 0. Depending upon epsilon, such that f of xy minus f of ab mod is less than, I can write epsilon by 2. Clear? I can write epsilon by 2. You can write epsilon also epsilon by 2 because it is very, these numbers should be very small. For x minus a mod is less than delta, because I am now going to tell you within the domain, so I am writing less than delta, and y minus b mod is less than delta. Now let I am going to prove the first part, and similarly you can prove the second part. And for the second part, it is your duty. Okay. Let x1, x2. I am taking any 2 points within the domain. Within the square domain, I am taking 2 points. x1, x2. Let x1, x2 be any 2 points. Be any 2 points. Within its domain. Clear? Now, very simple thing I am going to tell you. And first of all, let us see what is the triangle inequality. A plus b mod is less equal to mod a plus mod b. This is the triangle inequality. Okay? So, I am going to apply the triangle inequality. That is f of x1b minus f of x2b mod. Because I am going to prove f of xp. So y remains constant. So in both the cases I am taking b. That means only x varies. So this can be written as, I can write first of all f of x1b minus f of ab plus f of ab minus f of x2b. I can write like this. Clear? I am subtracting f of ab, adding f of ab. So put a bracket here and again put a bracket here. This is x, this is y. X plus y whole mod, and this is lesser equal to mod a plus mod b. So mod a, that is f of xb minus f of ab mod plus f of ab minus f of x2b. And already it is known to you that mod of a minus b is same as that of mod of b minus y. Clear? So f of xb minus f of ab, f of xb minus f of ab. Clear? So this quantity f of xy minus f of ab, and x and y are any 2 points, very old points, and f of ab. See here, I can write this one as less than, because in place of y I have written b, because xy belongs to its domain. Xy and its are in its domain. So ab are also in its domain. So f of xb minus f of ab is less than epsilon by 2. So this quantity is less than epsilon by 2. And this quantity is also less than epsilon by 2. You can write like this. You can interchange f of x2b minus f of ab. So it is strictly less than epsilon by 2 plus epsilon by 2, which is equal to epsilon. For there is no y here, so you can take this condition only. For x minus a mod is less than delta. Clear? That means this quantity is less than epsilon if this condition is satisfied. Clear? Now see here, what are x1, x2? x1, x2 are any 2 points in its domain, I have told you. So therefore, f of, in this case, in place of x1, I can write x, b is there. In place of x1, I am writing x minus f of ab. In place of x2, I am writing a, and in place of x1, I am writing x. Because already I have told you x1, x2 are any 2 points, and any 2 points. So in place of x1, I am writing x, because x is also in its domain, and a is also in its domain. So in place of x2, I am writing a. So this value will also be equal to epsilon. So less than epsilon for this condition. X minus a mod is less than delta. So this is the definition of continuity of a single variable x. Clear? So therefore f of xp, because there is no change in y remains same, dt. So only the x changes. Clear? So f of xp is continuous in one variable x at x is equal to a. Similarly, we can prove for f of ay. While taking above ay, so this in place of x1, x2, you should write a. In place of b, you should write y1, y2, and proceed similarly. You can prove it. Okay. So these are the two theorems. That means these are the two important theorems on continuity. Okay. In the next class, I will tell you there are some important theorems on partial derivatives. Okay, and partial derivatives and differentiability and continuity. Related theorems. Okay. Thank you.